Hello everyone. So for today, you are going to need a pencil, a sheet of paper, if you're at home, a dark colored crayon, and if you're in class, we're going to be using oil pastel. You're also going to need something hard to rub your paper. I'm using the back of a scissor. That tends to work good. You can also use your fingers. It just might take a little bit longer. So let's get started. If you have a long name, you are going to want to fold your paper this way. We're going to be writing our name on our paper and we want to make sure we can fit it all. If you have a short name, you can fold your paper the other way. So here we go. I have my paper folded in half, and now it's time to get started writing my name. So an important thing to keep in mind when we are writing our name is that we have parts of our letter touch that seam. It's really important to write your name as big as possible and really stretch out your letters. It took me a couple times to get my letters exactly how I want them, and it's totally okay if you have to do this more than once. So I'm making my S touch the very tippy top of my paper and touching the seam at the bottom. Doing the same with my letter T. Not all of your letters need to touch both ends of the paper, but it ends up looking really nice when some of them do. So I'm just mapping this out with my pencil. This way I can make any changes before we go in with our oil pastel or our crayon. So have fun arranging your letters. They don't need to be exactly in a straight line. You can put them however you would like. I kind of scattered the two Z's in my last name, and I made my A's a little bit funky. So here we go. Next step, we are going to cover our letters with our oil pastel or our crayon. Take your time with this step because it's going to be very important later. So here I am, carefully going right over my pencil lines, pressing pretty hard. We want these lines nice and solid. If you have to go over a letter more than once, go for it. It's going to make them nice and dark. Be careful when you're using oil pastel because it can smudge easily, so make sure you're lifting your hand up as you're covering your letters. Here I have my paper open now, and I'm going to fold it reverse so we're covering our letters. Still using that original seam, but just folding it over itself. Now is when I'm going to take the back of my scissor and really just press on the paper. I can see my letters through the paper, so I can focus more on the lines of my letters. This will save some time. But if you want to go over your entire page like I'm doing right here, you can do that as well. It's important to hold your page down while you're doing this. That way we get the most accurate reflection of our letters. Now I'm going to take a peek. Awesome. I see that it has made an impression on the other side of my paper. And here we have a symmetrical work of art. So what we're going to want to do is carefully go over our imprint we made on the other side of our page. We're going to be taking our time, making sure we try not to smudge our oil pastel. Very cool. So here we have our perfectly symmetrical name art. Tomorrow we will be adding color and learning about complementary colors. I ended up making a second one as well and arranged my letters a little bit differently just to see which one I liked better.